Before we begin, yes, you can make fun of my eye. It's poofy a little bit. It's going away. But what I was also thinking was, as I get older, since I don't plan on doing any of that Botox stuff, I will get wrinkles. And if I do video, well, my lovely community, you're going to see me age. Oh, how wonderful is that? So on that note, let us see what the universe has brought. It's a little bit of channeled guidance, and it's also food for talk, food for thought, food for growth. And on that note, for what growth? Our emotional body growth and our mental body growth and our relationship growth. So 5D collective knows of our entire oversoul being our family. And we don't need Sadhguru to lean us into knowing of our nature, although it's nice to know, yes, your nature is love. My nature is love. And then we have Stephen Porges, thank you, polyvagal theory doctor, who's continuing his research, and he shares how trauma is not about the event that happens to us. It's about how our nervous system responds. And when you look at attachment researchers, they inform us. There's two different categories of researchers, the category ones and the style ones. They do different type of research, but they share with people very important information. So if you want to know about your category, you want to look that one up. And remember, that's actually, I believe it's your relationship with the caregiver that they go and look at as your infant you. And that's through the adult attachment interview. In fact, I have that interview. And when you conduct it, you will see if a person is a secure attachment and if they are securely attached with their mother, father, or mother, or father. And then siblings, because we are an alloparenting species. So we do not attach to only one figure. But the mother is very important because when we're in the mother's womb, the last 3 months affect our development, and also if there's, for example, emotional neglect, that will pass on. It's not a fixed deal. Please, anybody who is new to IHP1, I can confuse data, by the way, so I'm going to make this a regular statement because I will screw up years and numbers, and so please take it with a grain of salt, if you will, and pseudoscience lady, woo-woo lady here, and just come and ask me. But yeah, I'm going to mix things up. That's for sure. I do it all the time. I'm like, shit, now it's in the data sphere. But it is what it is. My memory, it's okay. You can come correct me. I'm happy to be corrected. And then I can send you to sources. But the reality is, if you're a person who owns being a human, you're not going to be correcting anybody because you're enjoying conversations. The one thing a 5D is a functional adult who uses their left and right brain. So they're not in a conversation the way adaptive children are. Adaptive children have a brain that is harsh, unforgiving, because they're not tending to the charges that come up in their own body. And on that note, they are not securely attached within their own body and mind, aligned, heart body, value body, energy body, physical body, and mental body. These are you being able to be aligned even without yoga. But on that note, let me read to you Sadhguru, because he spells out something that I will continue to explain. If you think something or someone is against you, you lost your yoga. You lost your inclusiveness. And adaptive children usually are a group against another group, and so on and so forth. Another Sadhguru quote: are you living in the trap of your own body and mind, or are you using your body and mind as stepping stones for a greater possibility? Every human being has that choice. And then, as he says, whether you are a man, woman, animal, or an ant, the source of life is within you. And all of this is great and dandy. And yoga, as Stephen Porges points out, is a portfolio of ventral vagal nervous system exercises, or ventral vagus. I always get that one confused. So that is to say also mindfulness. It has tradition in Buddhism, but it's not because of the religious aspect, although they are now adapting mindfulness to be Christian mindfulness, to be not somatic, another word that I forget, but they're who? The mental health professionals explain mindfulness. Some people think that it's religiously focused, and so explaining what the technique does is helpful. Your brain in mindfulness learns to be in silence, which means you get to learn your wise adult. You get to learn how to use in time your prefrontal cortex. Now let me move to Bessel van der Kolk a minute and back to your human structure. Your brain develops. The first year of life, Only the right side, the right mode and right side of your brain is online, and that's our nonverbal part. And the first 2 years of your life and my life are going to impact how we will feel about life. There's, if you get a third attunement and then repair that lovely nervous system, studies have found it learns to be resilient. This is why some people don't get traumatized with the same event. And so my body will react, for example, to panic attacks differently than what I've heard other people, which is what? It never destabilized me to the point of where I'm like, I need to go get medicine. No, I am able to breathe. I'm able to understand what's happening. Plus 5D mystics. Any of you who are mystics, you also know about your energy body expanding. Had plenty of my light body, then I got my rainbow body, then I got another 2 or 3 expansion of energy bodies. And we have paid subscription-based model content for any of you who want 5D guidance. 4D keeps talking about people, oversoul, twin flames, soulmates, and just anyone, karmics. They use words that we can recognize each other. Yes, the fact that they say cut cords, this is the aspect of if you need to cut a cord, it means you don't know yet how to harness your own left and right mode. You don't know how to be your own functional adult yet, which means you don't know how to feel safe in your own body yet, which means that structural dissociation. So emotions come up from your younger charged parts and or your unresolved trauma memory stuff, PTSD, very much something that can be there. And as we learned from Patrick McNamara, the REM neurobiology actually tends to our trauma memory. It tries to get trauma memory to then be put back into long-term memory because we have areas. Our brain works. It's not a machine. People dehumanize us. Here's another person that I was watching, and they're trying to now compare technology and spirituality and say that people who embrace technology and science are externalizing our power, our gift, so this is where adaptive children, emotionally speaking, don't know how to be their own independent thinkers, because it's the minute that I'm a differentiated self and I'm doing differentiation in my brain where I'm using my left and right, where I'm not going to be comparing what you're saying. You're telling me something and I'm hearing you because your thoughts are thoughts. They're words. They're not tangible, fixed anythings. They're your own thoughts. It's your subjective story. And while the adoptive child does not like to hear that, I've seen many of them, no, it's not. Okay, I'm going to step away now because it is a subjective story. If we need to go grab data without adjectives, no adjectives. No descriptive. I could do it if I wanted. I could go grab everything and say, okay, here's the words. And I'm sure that we wouldn't go anywhere. But the subjective, let me give you an example. If you don't open the door for me, I, Maria, will male. I'm going to say me, woman, you male. You don't open the door for me. As a teenager, I've been like, I learned about gallantry or whatever that word is. So apparently you're not one of those gentlemen. Now there are people, women, don't open that door for me. That's a subjective experience. Now here's what an adult will do. It will be not, let me say you're not a gentleman because you didn't open the door. No, I will share, wow, here's my opinion about opening the doors. Okay, so the way we interact with each other is very different. When you are empowered in your body, relationships are never dramatic, and that's why 5D mystics and functional adults, we only grow our relationships. On that note, there are critical periods of time for our brain to develop. So some people, if they don't get the right stimuli in those first 2 years of life, they will not have vitality. They will not have the knowingness of pleasure. So attachment and trauma is very important to know. And we'll probably have a part 2 for a little bit more on it. But for the message, again, all of those who are 5D mystics, you are being given the opportunity to speak a truth and be yourself and learn more and more how to be unconditionally loving with all. No person chooses to have unresolved trauma or trauma memory. No parent or parents or our ancestors. So if you want a story, 4D got stories for you. If you want to be a person who taps into more, tune on in. We have a masterclass coming up for emotion regulation, skill building, and relationships minus the drama. 5D mystic, functional adult way, and enlightenment. So have a wonderful day if you don't tune back in, but thank you for stopping by.